All right, we're here, Kipping It Real with Chris Ibarra. Is that right? Ibarra?
Ibarra, you can
All
say either
right.
way.
All right. So we're both rookies in one sense. I'm rookies. I'm a rookie attending the games for the first time and also a rookie to the content creation scene. And then Chris is a rookie to the games, but he's been around for a while. You mind just giving us a brief background on kind of before this year, where you were at as far as semifinals and things like that leading up to this and how you felt going into this year?
Uh, I definitely felt way better going into this year than I did last year. Last year was my first year, so I didn't expect much. I just went in trying to get experience last year,
Yeah.
and I ended up getting 17th out of 60 people last year. Since last year we had 60 people at semifinals instead of 40
Yep.
this year.
That's right.
But going into this year, I felt way more confident, and then I definitely filled in some holes that I had last year. And I mean, I feel like if I just keep filling in holes, I mean, why can't I make the CrossFit Games?
Yep.
And definitely filled in the holes this year, and I think that's why I made the CrossFit Games.
It's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So last year was your first semifinal. So you truly did. You started in 2017 or later. What was it?
2018,
Okay.
but I wasn't I was still in high school, so I was
Yeah.
still playing sports and
Yep.
doing CrossFit whenever I wasn't playing sports.
Yeah.
But I was rarely doing any CrossFit. But I would say 2020 was whenever I started taking it serious.
Nice. So did you get the Olympic lifting already from I tried not to listen. I wanted to watch the Dave interview, but that was a while ago. Coffee Pods and Wads I had on, but then I turned off because it kind of gets in my head. I want to ask my own questions.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you hear a lot of the same questions regardless, but I am curious about the Olympic lifting aspect. Did you already have some of that from football or?
I would say just the clean I did.
Yeah.
We did some power cleans, but the snatching was tough. I would say that's probably one of the hardest movements in CrossFit. It's like learning how to snatch properly. And I definitely went to professional Olympic weightlifting coaches, and I practiced a lot on my snatch. That was something I had to get better at. But no, it was not natural for me.
Wow.
Definitely natural for me.
That's actually interesting to hear. I actually like hearing it myself. Now, I don't have the same DNA. I mean, it's obviously hard work and working on technique, but obviously you have to have something. Not every single person can be a games athlete. I think every person can be a decent CrossFitter if you're at the right age, but not everybody can be a games athlete. So it's interesting to hear because a lot of the people I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I just walked in a gym and I finished, 600th in the world. And I'm like, my gosh, dude. But hearing you say you actually had to struggle through the snatches and the Olympic lifting is interesting because I've literally just started working on my form after basically 3 years of just doing it completely wrong during Metcon. So.
Yeah. And I think it helped that I played high school sports because I feel like I was very coachable. At least that's what my coaches always told me.
Yeah.
And if I was told I'm doing this wrong, I'm obviously going to fix it. I mean, if you tell me, hey, you're pulling too early, I'm going to fix it right there. And watching myself lift helps a lot too. And watching other people lift with good technique helps me a lot. But yeah, snatching was very, very difficult for me. There was a lot of drills for a couple of years, a lot of drills before I started building up to a heavy snatch. And it was very frustrating watching other people lift heavy.
Yeah.
Telling myself, you're going to be there. Just wait, give it time.
So were you ahead in I'm assuming you probably were. So were you way ahead in cleans and even destroying people in Metcons and then still watching them snatch more, or what was that?
I would say I was ahead on just cardio pieces. Okay. I feel like my cardio has always been there. But no, I wouldn't. I was okay. My strength definitely gotten better throughout the year, but I wasn't one of those guys that just came in the sport very strong. But it's definitely getting better.
Yeah.
No, I would say my conditioning is what I was like ahead of people.
Yep. Yep. That's really interesting. And the good news is are you 24? Did I hear?
Yeah,
Okay.
turn 24.
The great news about that is, you've spent some time building up, but you're not even like at the prime yet, especially for guys. It's a little bit later than girls. I mean, just look at the level that Vellner and Fikowski are still at.
I think I lost you.
Oh, did you lose me?
Okay, there you are. There
I think my internet's been terrible. It might have gone out for a second. All right, cool. But no, you look at the level that Vellner and Fikowski are at, and they're like 32, 33. And then you see a lot of people really start. I mean, you see people at like 20, 21, but man, a lot of people 26, 27, 28 really doing some damage. So, I mean, you got a good, 4 or 5 years to still be improve and be at absolute peak. That's exciting, dude.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, my goal was to try to make the games by 2026. So
oh wow,
I beat it. I beat the time frame.
Do you have a new sort of, because that's like a long-term goal? I mean, I gotta imagine at the level you're at, everybody's giving me different answers to these sorts of questions.
I think I'm losing you again.
We're getting killed by that. I think that's my internet too.
Oh, you're good.
But here's what we'll do. If it happens a couple more times, it's only going off for a few seconds. I think I can edit it since I've recorded it, which is good. And honestly, we'll just figure something out. If it happens a few more times, I won't be mad if you log off.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Now what was I saying? Okay, goals. So, yeah, people have had a lot of different answers to this, but I'm curious, and not everybody likes to share it, so that's cool too. But do you have a long-term goal now, or are you too focused on what's coming up in a few weeks?
Are you talking about like
do you want to win the CrossFit? I mean, can you think yet? I don't think there's anything wrong with not thinking like this yet, but do you have in your mind one day I want to win the CrossFit Games, or one day I want a podium?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think mentally, I know I want to do that, but physically right now, I know I have some stuff to do, especially with like strength. I need to get stronger if I want to win the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
I can't have, I've always said if I can snatch over 300,
yep,
clean and jerk over 365, I mean, I think I can win the CrossFit Games.
I love it. That's awesome.
The way I see it. I mean, those are my goals right there, to be able to snatch and clean and jerk that much. That's one of my biggest goals in CrossFit, is being able to hit those numbers. So
I like that you have it broke down to specific things. You know exactly what you need to work on.
Yeah.
And kind of what numbers you need to be at. Do you think it's tit for tat when you look at endurance, right? Like if you're doing a heavy weight and you're doing a lot of repetitions, is it pretty much as simple as, if you have the cardio capacity, what is your max? When we talk about doing, like, I don't know, there was the event in semifinals where you did the run, and then was it 185 clean and jerks?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not heavy. Let's say we're doing something with, 205 or 225 clean and jerks, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
You have the capacity already as far as cardio, engine. Is it really as simple as just having a higher maximum threshold?
I would say yes. I mean, I'm pretty decent at like doing low or heavy weight close to my max for reps, like 90%. But again, if I'm able to be even stronger, that should be easier for me, is the way I see it.
Yep.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now we're digressing a little bit. I have a little bit of ADHD, but hey, maybe it'll be fun for the viewers. So you work out at the Hepner farm. Now, are you originally from Kansas or no?
No. I'm
okay.
I was born in Oklahoma.
Okay. So you're still right in this vicinity. Okay. So you're a Midwest boy for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was Ohio, and then, gosh, I hate saying this because I was in San Diego for 6 years with my wife and daughter, and now we're in Kansas, which was a rough transition.
Yeah.
But I'm getting used to it. So, okay, cool. So Oklahoma, and how long have you been in the same area, the KC area?
7 months.
Okay.
Not very long.
Now, are you planning on, do you have basically a plan to be there for a year, or are you planning on staying there long term?
I'm here for 3 years.
3 years.
3
Okay.
years, yeah.
Now, is that a commitment to train there for 3 years, or is that
my girlfriend's in school here for 3 years for
there you go.
So
Awesome.
I'll be here to train with Jacob for 3 years. So
Okay.
hopefully he's still doing it by then.
Yeah. How far are you from the Hepner barn?
15 minutes, not very far.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like an awesome setup. It when did he actually like complete the building on everything that he has going on there?
Honestly, I have no idea. Whenever I got there, everything was already set up. I haven't really like asked him.
Okay.
I am assuming a year and a half ago.
Yeah. I just remember seeing stuff, and maybe he was sharing old photos. I just remember seeing on something on social media where he was kind of showing the process. It could have been a little bit of a throwback or something.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the gymnastics though. We mentioned that, you've done football, so you've done some cleans, but you had to work on the snatches. The cardio was there. Were you naturally good at gymnastics, or was that a similar story?
Oh no, that's a similar story. I was not good at gymnastics. I definitely had a lot of help after class. After the class workouts, I would stay after and get coached by a couple coaches that were good at gymnastics. So I got lucky with the coaches I had whenever I first started doing CrossFit. They definitely helped me. I couldn't rope climb. I could do one ring muscle up, and it was like one side is like But no, that did not come natural. That was another thing. Awesome, gymnastics and barbell movement, definitely a lot. I learned a lot from my coaches.
Yeah. Did they see the talent and capacity early on enough that you had them telling you? Because in my head, the way I think about it is when I'm committing myself, I remember I had to spend like 6 months on ring muscle ups. Now I could do them. They just looked so bad when I would do 5 or 6. So I spent like all last year and all I did was basically watch games, athletes in slow motion. I'm like, okay, the turnover. And now you use a leg kick to get up, and then it's this swing. And finally I got to where I was doing 10 or more fresh and they look good. And then I got a slap tear.
That helps. That helps a lot. Like watching other people, like Noah Olson is probably one of the best.
Oh my gosh.
Ring muscle ups.
I watched him all the time.
I watch his whenever I was starting out, I definitely watched his videos. It helps watching other athletes that know what they're doing. Just like mentally, it shows you. And I think that's always helped me, like watching other professionals do it the right way. And I think it'll just stay up here, and eventually your body will start shifting to that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm obsessive. It can be both. I think they say that your greatest strengths are your greatest weaknesses. So it can work for or against me. But I did this with my golf swing a long time ago when I wanted to be a golf instructor. I'd be at the range hitting balls 2 hours into the dark, going home, breaking down the footage and writing notes. But I kind of did the same thing for ring muscle ups and probably spent a little bit too much time on just that. But I mean, just actually watching them and then trying to emulate certain things. I'm curious, did you ever get footage of yourself as well, or did you have your coaches just sort of giving you that feedback?
Oh, no, I had footage, a lot of footage. And I also had a bunch on my phone. Like I would go on YouTube and I would like screen record the movement of the guy I was watching.
I do the same thing.
Slow it down. And then I would just compare them. Like, this is what I need to be doing.
That is so funny. The one thing I'm just going to ask you, even though nobody else probably cares about this, the one thing that I still got a little bit of trouble with, I'm wondering if you'll know what I'm talking about, but I've noticed that I'm a little bit more, I think it might be my turnover. I'm a little bit more upright. I've noticed a lot of people get their chest like really forward.
Yeah.
And I'm just slightly more upright. Is that something that you're supposed to be, where you have your body weight centered in such a way that your chest is like really far forward like that?
Did you say you're like in front of it?
Well, I just noticed that people that, so where do you hit when you hit on a ring muscle up? How high or low do you hit when you get to your turnover?
I would say not right here, but like a little bit below. I think the higher you catch, the better it is.
Okay.
That way you're already up there.
Yeah.
I mean that's how I don't always catch that high.
Yeah.
At all. It's always like it's starting to get higher and higher.
Exactly.
And higher,
as you get fatigued.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can already see the obsession, because there was just basically there was one last thing. They looked good. Like if you looked at them, you'd say, yeah, those look good. But when I would look at, there was just one little thing I was working on, and then I got the slap tear. So I can't do them right now. But that's awesome, man. That's really cool to hear. It's a little bit of a different journey than a lot I've heard. So I'm curious, what year was your first, did you do the open the first year that you did CrossFit, or did you do it like a year later?
No, I definitely a couple years ago was my first. There was 1 year I didn't turn in my score.
Yeah.
Just because I came off, I like did the open, but I didn't turn in my like scores for quarters because I had broken my ankle and I couldn't do pistols.
Oh, dang.
It was the pistol rope climb GHD workout.
Yep. I remember.
I couldn't do pistols. So like I was like, screw it. I'm not going to turn in my score. Then the next year after that, completely forgot to turn in my open score.
No.
That was 2022. So I didn't turn in my open score. And in 2023 was the first year I like completed the whole thing, and I ended up going to semifinals.
Wow. That's crazy. What was your 2022 was the first time I participated. I remember, I think my favorite was, and the only one that I was okay at that time, I weighed a little bit more and my cardio wasn't good, but do you remember the deadlift, 225 deadlift, and you do the burpees over it?
Yeah. That was the workout I did not turn in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the workout I did not turn in.
Do you remember what you got? I'm sure you finished it in under the 10 minutes.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know one of my buddies that did it, and he's a master's athlete right now.
Yeah.
He beat me in it, and he's like, that's why you didn't turn it in, because he still gives me crap to this day. He's
That's
like,
awesome.
Turn it in.
That is hilarious. What gym were you at the time?
Midwestern built.
Okay.
So now in Missouri.
Okay. Did they have a competition team or anything like that, or did you? Or like a separate time?
So we tried to make a team, but we didn't. We missed it like by 3 or 4 spots.
I guess I more mean, did you guys have like a lot of gyms have a separate time where kind of the guys who are planning on competing or who have aspirations for quarterfinals, semifinals, they usually have a separate training time, or an open gym, something like that?
Oh, no. I mean, the gym it's pretty big. Like,
okay, got it.
There's a class going on, and then there's like an area where all the people that want to do extra stuff go to. So the gym's probably one of the biggest CrossFit gyms I've been to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I want to look that up. What's it called again?
Midwestern built, Joplin, Missouri.
Okay, cool. That's one if I ever get out that
it's
way
brand
again.
new. They just built.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's brand new.
That's awesome. So, where were you before that? Because you started back.
I was in Miami, Oklahoma. It was a functional fitness gym. It was CrossFit, but they didn't have CrossFit in their name because they didn't want to.
Yeah. I get it.
$5,000.
Yeah,
but it was like functional fitness. That's what it was.
Were you the best at your gym, or were people still beating you there regularly in the early years?
I would say I was winning most of the workouts.
Okay. Yeah.
I did train with one of my buddies. He was strong. I mean, he was snatching when I first started snatching 275, and that was really good for in 2018, and
Yeah,
and he was
definitely.
drinking like 345 at the time. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I was not going to beat that when I first started.
for sure. What were you and I hate to harp on this, but this is just fascinating to me. For the when you first started snatching, I mean, were you to 200 pretty quickly, or are we still saying it even took time to get there?
I was saying I was struggling whenever I moved to Joplin, Missouri.
Yep.
Like after I left my functional fitness gym and went to an actual CrossFit gym, I would say I was hitting 205,
Okay.
and it was like pretty like hard for me.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I haven't hit 200 yet. It's so even when I like I said, I haven't really committed to it, and I just started to start videoing myself and really get obsessive about it.
Yeah.
And then I got some injuries, so we'll get back to it. But you know, I at this now I can't do this right now because I'm 177 pounds. When I was 200 pounds, I was deadlifting 550 and benching 325, but my clean was 225 and my snatch was like 175. So it gives you an idea of how much I knew about all that. But I'm looking forward to learning and having that be my new obsession. Was mobility ever an issue, or from the start did you have pretty good flexibility?
I would say it was decent. Definitely, it was really bad on my like rings. Like my back was just really tight. My kip was awful on the rings. But like when it came to like with the barbell, I could get full depth. I could get my arms behind my back. It was that was no problem. It was mainly on the gymnastics. I needed to be more flexible with my lower back. But other than that, everything
that makes sense.
with the barbell was pretty good.
Cool. Now, so kind of headed to talking about the games here just a little bit, and we'll get you out of here within 10 minutes. So we're at about a half hour total. But so heading into the games, we've got 2 announcements. I don't have a huge history of the games, but from my understanding, we're not going to get a lot of specifics necessarily until right before, right? What are your thoughts on where we're at? I guess I'll start with Chad. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you train for something like that? And have you ever done it before?
I've never done it. Never done it. I don't ever want to do that, but if I get told to do it, I will do it.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, it's CrossFit. You put a ruck on, do some step ups.
Yep.
And it's the last event before the cut, so I think that's the best time to do it. You want it or you don't.
Gosh, I'm still just worried. I hope the twist. I don't know what it's going to be, or if the twist might have been that it's right before the cuts. But I guess if it's a step over, it's not really Chad. So I don't think that can be it. The only thing I'm worried about is, of course, the judging. I just want it to be consistent is all. Especially if it's the event for the cut line. I don't want to see certain people just being able to move faster because they're able to, I don't know, maybe even just because their judge isn't able to perceive things as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because obviously it was a fiasco in quarter. Oh, you got hit by that, didn't you?
Yeah, I got hit with 49 no reps.
So did you get a major?
Yeah, I did. I was sitting in 5th place overall, and then sitting
wow.
I think 38th, and then it just started like everybody else was getting hit, so I went to like 27th, 28th.
So were you early, or I know because Ty Jenkins was really late. He told me he was one of the last ones. Were you?
I was early.
Okay.
I was early. I think like right after Pat got hit, I got hit right after him, and I'm like, oh shoot! And I was scared because it was like 38th, and I'm like, oh crap.
But then once you started moving up, you're like, okay, I think
but that was my first workout too. And then I was like, I hope I don't get another no rep or like other taken away because I'm right there. So
I see what you're saying. Well, I think they looked at one other one, but they really looked at that one.
Yeah.
What did you think when you looked at your footage? Could you see where they were coming from?
Yeah. I mean, the thing they told me was my head was down, and it definitely looked like my legs weren't locked out, but they were locked out. It's just like I was leaning forward.
Got it.
So I just needed to bring the shoulders back. And I mean, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I got no rep.
It's hard because even though we have a specific standard, the way pretty much everybody does them, even at the elite level, it was never really like that. You know what I mean? We've been doing it like this for years. So I'm not saying they're wrong in trying to enforce a standard. I get it. It's just it was a tough one, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have to look up. That's the only thing with it. I always look down because it's scary. If you're not looking down, you're gonna trip.
Yeah,
And
dude. Who wants to
but now I'm like getting
your
myself where I'm just staring at something the whole time.
Yep. I like it. Okay, so we got that one. Now we got run swim. Probably not even worthwhile to speculate, but do you or any of your buddies have any ideas of what you think it might end up being?
My coach thinks it's gonna be 3 mile run, 1 mile swim.
That'd be a pretty big swim, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was the one back in, what was it, 2017 was 1.5. Then was it 500 meters? I can't remember.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Well, because that was the first games I watched.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure
1 mile swim. That would have to be, I'm sorry, I don't know a ton about swimming. Would that have to be broken up, or can you just swim a mile?
I guess swim a mile.
Shoot, dude. I hope you guys are like close to shore. I'm sure just in case they probably have like boats and stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be close to a mile. I don't think it'll be 500. I mean, because they put 4 miles total. They didn't say if whatever.
Nope.
How many miles was going to be for either one.
Yep.
It also could be a 5K run and whatever's left on the.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Would you rather it be at the beginning or the end, the swim? Let's just say that it's 3 and 1. If it was
I would say swim at the end. Just a lot of people get scared whenever their heart rate's up, and I think I would do a lot better with people.
Just by being in the water, you get a certain. That's interesting. Yeah, I heard somebody else say that, and I'm not a swimmer, so I never really thought about that, but it makes sense. It's kind of
it'll slow people down for sure. That's the thing. Like, I think if you go all out on the run, you're gonna have to slow down because you're either gonna panic in the water or you're gonna drown.
So is it really that when you sense your heart rate up in the water, that if you're not used to it and you're not prepared, your natural instinct to not drown essentially kicks in? Is that what it is?
Yeah. As soon as you start freaking out, you're just swimming above water, and you're using all shoulders, and your head's not underwater. So it's definitely something you have to get used to.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll get this wrapped up. We'll talk a tiny bit more here about the games, and then we'll I do a little rapid fire fun, music, movies, things like that. So I'm just curious about the mindset in the sense that we're like, I think we're less than 4 weeks now. I'm probably as excited as the people who are actually in the games. I can't wait. But what does it feel like? Are you able to kind of disconnect and you'll take it all in when you get there, or are you already super excited?
I think I'll get more excited when I'm there.
Yeah.
Like I've told multiple people, like I don't know if it's because it's not over yet. I wasn't very excited whenever I qualified. I was happy, but I wasn't like crying and excited. I think I'm hoping it's a lot more exciting whenever I'm there.
Yep. Yeah. So I heard this. I was going to ask about your goal there, but I think I heard in the 5 or 10 minutes I was tuned in, I think you said rookie of the year, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Is rookie of the year just automatically the person who finished the highest out of all the rookies?
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming that's one of the biggest things. I have no idea.
Yeah. And there's a fair bit of rookies. Do you know the number off the top of your head?
I think there's 11 guys.
Okay.
And I don't know how many females.
That's actually a really good goal.
Yeah.
Especially with that many guys. That's a really good goal. Now, obviously, you want to make the cut. Do you have anything as far as numbers, top 10, top 20, or just rookie of the year?
I think if I want to be rookie of the year, I have to be in the top 20. You cut out.
Hello.
Okay, you're here. Did you hear what I said?
I didn't. Sorry.
I said if I want to be rookie of the year, it'll definitely have to be top 20.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll head into the rapid fire here, and then we'll be done. Just a quick one. Music that you like, whether it be working out or just in general.
I'm all over the place. I am like country, rap, screamo. I'm all over the place. Depends on the type of workout. Like if it's zone 2, I'm gonna put some country music on or
like that. Yep. I have it timed where do you listen in your like AirPods or do you have it playing loud?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. If I'm by myself, I'll just put it in my AirPods.
Yeah. So we don't have that many people and it's at an open gym, so I do AirPods, and I actually have my music, particularly during the open, which is like the games for me. But I actually have my music timed to where I think I'm going to be at the workout, and I have it. I usually have one song that for like a month until I get sick of it, I have timed for the end, and right now it's Limp Bizkit Break Stuff, so that comes on. Gosh, that's probably before your time. Do you know that Limp Bizkit Break Stuff?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm sending you the link. You'll know when you hear it. It's famous if you're in. Hefner will know about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's that hardcore song that comes on like right as I think I'm going to be finishing. So,
yeah.
All right, cool. Movies and TV, either what you're watching right now, or just favorite.
My favorite movie is probably Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, nice!
I really enjoy that movie.
It was a great movie.
I watch that movie every day.
That's awesome, dude. That movie, fantastic acting.
Yes, awesome movie. The ending sucks, but
that's right, it does. No, it's just a fantastic movie. All right, favorite cheat meal.
I would say pizza.
Nice. I've got that one a few times. That's a good one because I also got nachos from someone. These are like cheat meals. You have 4 or 5 slices of pizza and you just cheated. All right, so we touched on this a little bit, but if you're going up against people, and this includes deadlift, bench, everything, your favorite heavy lift if you are going up against other competitors?
I would say snatch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the tables have turned.
Yeah.
All right. And then your
you cut out again.
There we go. Gosh, man, I've never had this happen. Sorry. Okay. So do you have a favorite workout or movement, whether it be a certain workout, named workout, open, semifinals, kind of something you can point to? It can even be recent where you say, that's my workout.
For when I first started, I enjoyed Fran. I would say that was probably one of my favorite workouts because when I first started, I was in the 2s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
okay. So that's something. I'm glad you said that because that is something that's a good indicator. Did you know how to kip early on, or did you do it strict?
No, I could kip. I definitely learned how to kip before I did that workout.
Okay, got it.
So
nice. Now, does Chris Ibarra even you still get Fran lung or not really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like no matter how fit you are, you will always hurt on anything. Machines. Yeah. No matter how good you are in machine, it's gonna hurt regardless. Dude,
that is for sure.
Are going faster.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Last question. This can be either be who you watched as you came up in the sport, or you can just say, if I wasn't competing, this would be the person. Who, and it doesn't have to be one, who did you either root for coming up, or who would it be that you would be watching if you weren't in the games yourself?
Whenever I first started watching CrossFit, I enjoyed watching Tia. It was the year that she got second, and I think Katrin beat her.
Yep.
I enjoyed watching her fitness because nobody knew her, nobody talked about her. And that was probably one of my I would say that's one of my favorite athletes growing, like whenever I first started watching.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone's favorites, Matt and Froning. So
All right. So, I mean, you got to tell me which one.
uh
Either which one is better or which one did you watch more?
they're pretty even. I definitely like I said earlier, like
Oh, wait. Are you HP? Are you hard work pays off?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't answer this then. Never mind.
No, what I was gonna say is
All right.
whenever I first started doing CrossFit,
Yeah.
I would, like I said, I would watch videos of people, and there were certain things that I do that I got from each and one of them.
Yep.
So like rope climbs, if you ever see me rope climb, you can
Yep.
tell which one I got it from, either
Yep.
Matt or Froning. Same with like my startup on my snatch. You can definitely see who I got that from.
Interesting.
But that's how I started my CrossFit, was watching them. Like I picked up things. If they were doing it like that and they're winning, like why not me doing it? Why do I do it like that?
Yeah. Why would you watch somebody who's like down
Exactly.
here when you can watch the best?
So
I
next
love
time
it,
you
dude.
watch me compete,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
watch
I'm-
the little things. You can definitely tell who I got it from.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one of them. I'm not going to say what movement.
All right. No, I love it. I already took a mental note to do some homework. Like I'm really curious now. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Hey, Chris, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be rooting for you at the games. If I see you, hopefully we can get a pick or something, but thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, man.